God's advice today. Have you ever felt that God is trying to speak to you, yet in the busyness of life, His signs go unnoticed? This message invites you to pause, reflect, and open your heart. Perhaps this is exactly what you needed to hear today. Watch until the end with openness, and if these words touch you, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell to receive more messages like this. Don't forget to check the pinned comment for a 1-minute prayer and a recommended message to help strengthen your faith even more. God said, "My beloved Son, listen to me with the full attention of your spirit, for this moment was not born of chance. This moment was shaped by my own hands, and I bring it before you with a purpose that surpasses ordinary understanding. Before your next thought forms, before your breath continues, I hold you here because what my Spirit is doing within you cannot be delayed. As it is written, call unto me, and I will answer you, and show you great and mighty things which you do not know." Jeremiah chapter 33 verse 3. I have brought you to this exact point because the revelation I place before you is alive, urgent, and deeply necessary for the season ahead. I do not allow distractions to steal your focus, because there is a spiritual seed planted in your heart that is now breaking through the soil, and if you listen to me, it will grow strong. I myself prepared this encounter, aligned every detail, made thoughts, sensations, and invisible movements converge so this moment would find you awakened. Do not fear the intensity of what you feel. It is my Spirit moving inner regions that have been silent for too long. Comment, I trust in God's love, He guides my steps with purpose. Do you feel that you are ready for a deep change in your life and in the lives of those you love? Sometimes all we need is a small step of faith to open the doors of abundance, peace, and blessings that God has already reserved for us. A simple 1-minute prayer can be the beginning of a spiritual journey that transforms the inside and reflects on the outside. If you desire to attract more light, balance, and prosperity, spiritual and material, click on the link in the first comment. There you will find a simple practice, guided with love, that can help you connect more deeply with the divine presence in your life. My son, the reason I interrupt your routine is because within you there are layers opening now, like spiritual doors that waited for my touch to be unlocked. You felt restlessness you could not explain, pressures that did not belong to the natural realm, and now I reveal to you, it was my Spirit pushing you into a deeper spiritual territory. There are things that were asleep inside you, gifts, discernment, strength, courage, vision, and now all of them begin to awaken because an old season is ending and a new one is rising over your life. Do not confuse this movement with ordinary anxiety or restlessness. This is a divine shift, an inner rearrangement preparing you to carry what once would have burdened you beyond your ability. I set aside this hour so you understand that nothing you went through was wasted. Battles shaped your maturity, silence shaped your sensitivity, tears washed your eyes so you could see farther. The urgency you feel is love, not threat. It is care, not pressure. I am removing from you the weight that never belonged to you and placing upon your shoulders the lightness of the purpose that has always been yours. Comment, God is awakening something new inside of me. My son, remember what is written, behold, I make all things new. Revelation chapter 21 verse 5. This word is not figurative, nor symbolic, nor merely temporary comfort, it is literal over you. I am renewing inner parts you were used to ignoring. I am cleansing perceptions, removing old burdens, dissolving silent pains that followed you for years. What I do in you now is not small, not subtle, not fragile, it is a deep work that touches the root of your identity. I remove memories that shaped your emotional responses. I break patterns that made you believe you were weak. I dissolve lies you accepted as truth. And at the same time, I place within you courage, vision, boldness, and spiritual discernment. Today, I position you standing before what once brought you down. Today, I give you clarity where there was confusion. Today, I give you peace where there was constant tension. Do not ignore what is being born within you. You are a field being prepared for an abundant harvest. The transformation I deliver to you now will be noticed even by those who never knew how to express support. Comment: God is making all things new in my life. You have been walking while carrying inner battles no one saw, battles you hid even from yourself, but I have always seen every detail. I saw the nights when you tried to be too strong, demanding from yourself more than your heart could bear. I saw the moments when you said, "It's okay," while inside you were trembling. I saw when you tried to move forward without direction because you didn't want to worry anyone. And that is exactly why I take you by the hand now, because your inner being was crying for relief even when your mouth said you were strong. I tell you, I never abandoned you. In each silence of yours, my spirit interceded for you. In each confusion, I placed invisible boundaries to keep you from being crushed. In each fall, I upheld you before you hit the ground. Now, finally, the time has come to heal, restore, realign, reorganize, and lift everything inside you that was fragmented. I bring you into a time of spiritual breathing, a time where your soul will find rest and your mind will find direction. Comment: God knows my battles and cares for my heart. Did you know that there is an effective method to attract greater financial prosperity? This technique can help transform your deep-seated beliefs and change the way you perceive reality. It had a profound impact on my life, and we would like to invite you to explore this special practice. When we trust that God wants to act in our lives, we gain the courage to ask Him directly. God desires to bless each of us in a unique and wonderful way. That's why it's important to seek His blessings with faith and confidence, believing that He has a special plan for you. If you would like to support our work and the team dedicated to bringing content that inspires and transforms, we invite you to check out our product. The link is available in the first comment, so you can discover how this technique can also help you on your journey. Your contribution helps us continue sharing messages that make a difference. We deeply appreciate your trust and support. My beloved son, it is written, "Those who trust in the Lord are like Mount Zion, which cannot be shaken but endures forever." Psalm 125 verse 1. I declare this truth over you because there were things in your life that began to destabilize your faith, and now I place them back into their proper place. You are stronger than you imagine, because your strength does not come from you, it comes from me. I have established you upon rock, not sand. I have set you on promises, not illusions. This moment, which I myself prepared, is a turning point in your journey. I saw you asking for confirmation, direction, answers, and now I give you more than that. I give you inner structure to receive my next movements. Do you feel that firmness rising within you? That is my work. Do you feel that peace wrapping around you in a different way? That is my work. Do you feel new spiritual understanding opening your eyes? That is my work. For I lift you into a time when your faith will no longer be fragile but solid, not wavering, but mature, not emotional, but grounded in my spirit. Comment: I remain firm because God is my eternal rock. My son, do not ignore the movement my spirit began in your life. It did not start today, but it intensifies now. I have surrounded you with gentle signs, sudden memories, and spiritual desires that arise without human explanation. I have guided you through discomforts that pushed you away from people and environments no longer aligned with your purpose. I have moved you through inner pressures calling you into more depth, more truth, more surrender. Now the moment has come to understand. I am preparing you to reap fruits you planted without even realizing it. Your faithfulness in difficult times is about to return to you multiplied. Your tears watered invisible seeds that now break through with strength. Your sacrifices open paths where walls once stood. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was in vain. Everything now aligns, within you and around you, to manifest what I reserved specifically for this season. Comment: I believe God is aligning everything in my life. My son, remember what I said. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Psalm 23 verse 4. This promise is not only to comfort you, it is to strengthen you. I walked with you in the valleys. I defended you in battles. I silenced spiritual attacks you never knew existed. There were wars fought over your life that you never saw, but my spirit fought for you. When you thought nothing was happening, I was protecting you in invisible realms. When you thought you were forgotten, I was working in the backstage of your story. Now I reveal to you, a great spiritual shift is happening within you. I remove the fear that followed you for years. I destroy the sense of abandonment that chased you. I cut the ties that drained your peace. I place over you the anointing of courage, strength, and vision. What is about to be born in your life is greater than what is being left behind. My beloved son, I know how much you tried to ignore the emotional exhaustion that was building inside you. You kept walking, even when tired. You kept smiling, even when overwhelmed. You kept believing, even when nothing seemed to change. And this perseverance touched my heart. Now, as your father, I tell you, the time of carrying burdens alone is over. I break off of you the feeling that everything depends on you. I lift from your shoulders the weight that kept you from breathing freely. I remove guilt that never belonged to you. I restore your sense of worth, your identity, your inner light. From this moment on, you will not merely survive, you will advance living in fullness. I am immersing your soul in healing, renewing your light, restoring the depth of your joy. And what was dim inside you begins to shine again, like a flame rekindled by my own breath. Comment: God is restoring my strength and my joy. My son, listen to what I tell you now, sustained by eternal truth, for I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a future and a hope. Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 11. This promise has covered your life from the beginning. Even when you saw no way out, I already saw the path. Even when you felt lost, I already had the direction. Even when you thought the promise had died, I was only maturing it. Now I place in your hands the key you lacked. Your future is not lost, it is in preparation. There are doors I will open before you that no one will shut. There are opportunities that will come to you without human effort. There is emotional healing that will flow naturally. There are answers that will come without delay. I am aligning your soul with what I always determined: victory, harvest, growth, and revelation. This is the time of fulfillment, and it comes without noise, but with divine strength. My beloved son, take a deep breath and receive this truth with your spirit. I brought you here to open your eyes to what begins now. An old season comes to an end, and a glorious season rises, filled with meaning, direction, and purpose. What once felt like confusion will become clarity. What once seemed like delay will become precision. What once looked like loss will become harvest. I am moving everything around you so that your heart, your mind, and your spirit come into alignment. I restore your hope, I strengthen your vision, I awaken your spiritual sensitivity, I rebuild your understanding. Nothing will stop what I have released over your life. This is the time of maturity, of answers, of restoration, of healing, of manifestation, and of victory. Walk without fear, for I am with you. Advance without hesitation, for I myself prepare the path. I lift you to live the best chapter of your story, not because you deserve it, but because I love you with everlasting love. Comment: I receive the new season that God is releasing over my life. You have felt something shifting within you, a movement quiet and almost indescribable, as if a curtain were being pulled back inside the deepest chambers of your being. My beloved child, this sensitivity you have carried was never a mistake nor a random internal storm. It was your spirit awakening to my nearness. You sensed restlessness, not because you were lost, but because something within you had begun to outgrow what once felt familiar. You noticed subtle changes in your desires, in your thoughts, in the way you perceived your own journey. You felt an invisible pull drawing you away from what you once clung to and attracting you toward what you could not yet name. This tug was not confusion. It was not instability. It was the threshold of a new spiritual moment. What stirred inside you was the longing of your own soul recognizing my presence moving toward you. You were reaching for truth without realizing the direction of your reach. You longed for something that resonated deeper than circumstances, something enduring, stabilizing, and profoundly real. And now, as you stand in this exact moment, the longing you could not interpret is being answered by my voice, for this communication is the beginning of what you have unknowingly waited for. Your heart has been yearning for something authentic, something that does not fade, something that aligns with the core of who you are becoming. You have been searching without a map, moving forward guided only by quiet instincts you couldn't explain. What you felt within your spirit was not emptiness, it was preparation. You were being moved into position for this very instant, where clarity would meet longing. You could not find what you sought because the revelation had not yet arrived. It was waiting for the exact intersection of time and readiness. But here, now, in this moment, the veil of uncertainty begins to lift. My presence, the very essence that sustains your existence, is drawing closer, not to overwhelm you, but to fulfill the ache you have carried within you. My beloved, what I reveal to you will shift the direction of your life, not by force, not by anxiety, not by pressure, but through a truth so clear it will reorient your understanding. This truth brings calmness where you felt shaken, assurance where you felt unstable, and direction where you felt suspended between one season and another. Something remarkable approaches you, something designed to bring you into alignment with who you truly are and with what I have prepared for you since the beginning. The depth of what I am unfolding for you has nothing to do with chance and everything to do with my intentional love. I design moments of awakening for you. I design inner renewal for the parts of your being that grew tired from long seasons of waiting. I design healing for wounds you learned to hide. I design restoration for the pieces of yourself that life fragmented over time. I design opportunities for rediscovery, for the expansion of your spirit, and for the strengthening of your identity. You are stepping into a moment that carries consequence and significance, a moment that requires your inner self to stand steady with me. This is a pivotal hour, one that calls for attention, clarity, and the quiet resolve of your heart. You will not face what is ahead alone. But I need you to be awake to what is unfolding, because the path before you will open in a way that only a present and attentive spirit can recognize. What approaches you is aligned with purpose, and though it has not yet manifested in your surroundings, it has already begun its work within you. You have been through a long and wearying season, one that drained your strength and tested your endurance. You moved through days where hope flickered faintly. You felt confined by circumstances that seemed unchanging. You carried doubts that pressed heavily on your heart. You experienced sadness that lingered longer than you wanted. Your emotions fluctuated like shifting tides. Your mind wandered without focus. Your heart felt burdened by things you could not name. Yet through every tear you shed, through every quiet question, through every moment where you simply kept going because you didn't know what else to do, I was at work. Invisible to your eyes, but fully active in my purpose. I was arranging what needed to be put in place. I was preparing what would one day arrive suddenly, as if out of nowhere, even though I had been building it all along. This is why I pulled your attention urgently into this moment, not when life felt lighter, not when you felt more stable, not when time seemed perfect, but now, in this breath, in this heartbeat, because you are standing closer to transformation than you have ever been. You do not see how near you are to clarity. You do not feel how close you are to understanding. You do not perceive how close peace stands to your spirit. You are nearer to a beginning than your mind has allowed itself to imagine. My purpose in calling you now is not to stir temporary emotion or offer fleeting reassurance. It is to prepare you for a critical turning point in your journey. A shift is unfolding, one that will require you to step forward with new awareness. A door is about to open before you, but you must be spiritually awake enough to notice it. You must be steady enough to embrace it. You must be alert enough to walk through it. That is why these words carry weight. They are not casual. They are not decorative. They are not meant to simply comfort you. They are meant to align you. They are meant to awaken you. They are meant to anchor you so that the moment coming toward you does not pass by unnoticed. My beloved child, I know the heaviness you have carried, even when you hid it behind your daily routines. I know the weariness that pressed upon your shoulders. I know what it felt like for you to hold everything together when inside you felt like you were unraveling. I know the silent battles you fought, the quiet truths you never voiced, the internal storms you could not explain to anyone. I remember every tear you shed in secrecy. I heard every whispered plea for change, for clarity, for a breakthrough you could not create on your own. None of those moments were overlooked. None were forgotten. And now, the words I speak to you are part of the healing you have longed for. They are part of the understanding you have sought. They are part of the turning you have prayed would come. You are standing at the edge of a pivotal point, where the weight you've carried will not follow you into what I am opening next. This is a time for renewal, for awakening, for the restoration of the parts of you that have lived under strain for too long. My guidance must rise above the noise around you and the noise within you. Listen closely now, not with tension, but with openness. Do not dismiss what you feel stirring inside as mere emotion. Do not rush away from this moment. Do not let distractions pull your mind away. This instant has been set apart specifically for you. It is a doorway moment, a sacred interruption. I do not exaggerate when I tell you that my love for you is too immense to allow you to miss what is approaching your life. Breathe deeply. Let your spirit settle. Allow the stillness of my presence to surround you. What I show you next will bring clarity to what has been clouded, illumination to what has been darkened, and truth to what has been distorted by fear or discouragement. This is a moment designed not to pressure, but to liberate, not to frighten, but to prepare, not to overwhelm, but to align. My child, hear me with gentleness now. The reason my presence entered your moment with such immediate intensity is because a spiritual opening is available to you right now, one that cannot be perceived with the natural eye but is deeply felt by the awakened spirit. You sensed movement around you, a heaviness at times, a stirring at others, a quiet knowing that something was shifting even though your external life looked unchanged. What you felt was the nearness of breakthrough, the subtle tremor that precedes significant transformation. The change is not distant. It is not theoretical. It is not someday. It is here, beginning quietly, expanding within you, ready to manifest around you. And now, beloved, as you receive these words, the opening widens. The path becomes clearer. The next step begins to reveal itself, not through fear, not through force, but through the calm certainty that I, your God, am guiding you into the chapter you were created to walk. My beloved child, breathe softly and let these words enter the depth of your being, for they are shaped from the very essence of what you have lived, what has pressed upon your heart, and what I now reveal to you with purpose. Everything you sensed before this moment, the restlessness, the quiet ache, the subtle awareness that something was shifting around you, was not confusion, nor was it the stress of your days playing tricks on your emotions. It was the whisper of a divine opening. You felt it without fully understanding, a pull toward what felt unfamiliar yet strangely important, a stirring deep within you that you could not name. That stirring was the gentle signal of a door beginning to open, a moment aligning precisely with what I have prepared for you. This instant is not shaped by human desire nor influenced by emotional ups and downs. It is shaped by sacred timing. My timing. The timing of renewal, awakening, and revelation. You stand at the threshold of a moment that holds more weight than you realize, a moment arranged with intention, wrapped in grace and woven into the unfolding of what your life is becoming. I come to awaken joy within you again, to deepen your connection with what is real, with what is holy, with what your spirit has been silently reaching toward. You read these words now because your heart has been calling out without sound, and I have listened to every silent plea. Every question you carried in the solitude of your nights, every breath you released hoping something would change, every tear shed in quiet corners where no one else saw, none of it went unnoticed. You thought your prayers were whispers lost in the vastness, but they reached me with clarity and tenderness. And now something unfolds before you, something delicate yet powerful, something requiring your full attention. This is why I arrive with swiftness. This is why the weight of my words feels different today. This is why your spirit reacts even before your mind processes the meaning. What draws near to your life is not small, and it is not accidental. It is a turning point, a renewal, a moment filled with meaning, a grace descending into your path. You have walked through seasons of battle and confusion that no one around you fully understood. You carried burdens quietly, living days with a fractured inner world while maintaining an outer strength for the sake of necessity. You searched for clarity, for steadiness, for a reprieve from the heaviness that visited your mind and pressed against your heart. And even though you pushed forward with determination, there remained a weariness inside you that you hesitated to admit. You have been tired in ways that sleep could not heal. Your thoughts have raced without pause. Your heart has carried grief that you hid even from yourself because acknowledging it felt like reopening wounds you were trying to forget. Your spirit has endured pressure greater than anyone realized. You moved through days where your body functioned, but your truest self felt distant, dimmed, and quiet. You were not lost because you abandoned the path. You were tired because you tried to carry everything alone. Life pulled you in many directions, responsibilities stacked themselves one on top of another, and somewhere along the way, your inner light dimmed without you noticing. You walked through your routine out of habit, fulfilling what was required, masking the emptiness that settled inside. The numbness you felt was never a deliberate choice. It grew from wounds left unresolved, from burdens no one helped you carry, from pressure that stretched your spirit thin. You survived stretches of time where you could not feel me, yet I was never absent. I saw every silent struggle, every hidden heaviness, every moment you thought you could not take one more step. You were closer than you realized to closing off your openness, not forever, but long enough that you might have missed the divine opening unfolding right now. This is why I interrupted your day. This is why I brought this message to you with urgency. This is why I pulled you aside from the rush of your mind and the weight of your responsibilities, to make sure you did not overlook what I set before you. I hold no disappointment toward you. I am not upset with your exhaustion, your moments of drifting, or the heaviness that dimmed your spirit. I understand every reason behind them. Pain from others, expectations that drained you, seasons that demanded more strength than you had to offer, these things wore down your spirit. I saw how many days you held everything together while feeling like you were falling apart inside. I saw how often you faced hardship alone, how many times you wished someone would notice without you having to explain, how you endured circumstances with quiet strength that others mistaken for ease. You have fought battles invisible to most, and now I draw you away from the exhaustion that threatened to blind you from seeing the blessing approaching your life. This moment is not random. It is sacredly arranged. Every second leading to it was guided with care. You did not find this message by coincidence. You did not reach this instant by accident. I led you here, step by step, even when you felt far from divine guidance. I called you with subtle nudges before your conscious mind recognized the call. I whispered to the deepest parts of you, stirring your awareness, drawing you to pause, creating room for this revelation. Had this message come to you on another day, you might have dismissed it. Had it arrived sooner, your heart would not have been ready. Had it arrived later, you might have missed the door I am opening. But now your heart is soft enough, weary enough, open enough to receive what I need to tell you. Not because you are broken, but because you are finally quiet enough inside to hear me clearly. I come now because now is the moment everything shifts. The timing is perfect. The alignment is divine. The opening is active. My cherished one, understand the seriousness of this truth. I am positioning you for something that carries tremendous significance for your future, your healing, your purpose, and your joy. The opportunity unfolding before you is not merely a blessing. It is a turning point designed to redirect the trajectory of your life. You are entering a season where clarity lifts confusion, where strength replaces weariness, where purpose rises from what seemed like chaos. You have waited long, and at times, you doubted the wait had meaning. You wondered if you misheard me, if you took wrong steps, if the silence was abandonment. But every delay was alignment. Every struggle shaped your maturity. Every hardship cultivated depth within you. And now the things you could not understand begin to take shape beneath my hand. A path forms where there was none. A door opens that no force can shut. What comes to you now is prepared, intentional, and deeply connected to who you truly are. You will no longer move through your days on autopilot. You will no longer carry hidden sorrow alone. You will no longer feel scattered within yourself. I am restoring your inner alignment. I am reviving the light inside you. I am calling your spirit back into harmony with your purpose. Your mind will find rest. Your heart will rediscover hope. Your spirit will rise again with clarity and strength. What once felt distant will feel present. What once felt silent will speak loudly within you. What once felt heavy will lift with the ease of grace. Allow yourself to receive this restoration without resisting it. You do not need to earn it. You do not need to prove anything. I give it because I love you deeply, faithfully, eternally. I give it because you reached the moment where your spirit is ready to rise from everything that dimmed it. So now, beloved, step into this moment fully. Do not shrink back from what is opening. Do not question whether you are worthy. You are prepared. You are chosen. You are ready. Let your heart respond. Let your spirit affirm. Let your soul rest in the truth that what comes next is orchestrated with meticulous love. This is the turning point you have longed for without knowing how to name it. This is the answer to the silent prayers you prayed in weariness. This is the healing of the wounds you tried to ignore. This is the clarity you sought in confusion. This is the renewal I promised. Move forward gently, but move forward with trust. You are being guided, lifted, restored, and aligned. And everything begins now, in this breath, in this instant, in this sacred timing set aside just for you. My beloved child, receive these words with the openness of a heart that is finally ready to see beyond the surface of your days, because everything I speak to you now carries intentional weight. When I tell you not to wait, it is not urgency born from impatience, it is urgency born from protection. I move swiftly because I see what is forming beyond your sight. I see what is approaching from distances you cannot yet perceive. I see the delicate sequencing of events, the invisible threads pulling moments into alignment, the transition points where opportunities appear and, if missed, dissolve quietly into the unseen. I act now because I understand what influences have tried to surround you in this season. They attempted to pull your focus away, to cloud your clarity, to dull your intuition, and to weaken your inner alertness so you would overlook what I am sending your way. These forces do not need to destroy you to hinder you. The slightest diversion, the slightest clouding of perception, the slightest detour in awareness is enough to keep you from recognizing the blessing being placed before you. But I would not allow this. That is why my voice comes to you in this moment with power, with depth, with clarity. You feel it in your spirit because it is time for you to awaken. You have walked through a season where your inner being was burdened beyond what words can capture. You have carried weariness that settled deep in your core, sorrow that surfaced in quiet moments, responsibilities that stretched beyond your strength, and a numbness that grew from prolonged emotional fatigue. Those influences did not need to break you. They only needed to dim your awareness long enough for you to lose sight of what was coming. And they succeeded for a time. You felt mentally foggy, spiritually quiet, emotionally muted. You felt as though your inner fire had shrunk to a faint ember, barely visible beneath the weight of survival. Your days became filled with doing rather than being, moving rather than feeling, enduring rather than living. And yet even in this heaviness, I watched you. I saw every heavy breath, every quiet tear, every moment where you held yourself together with strands of courage thinner than you wanted to admit. I saw the nights when exhaustion settled deeper than sleep could reach. I saw the mornings when you woke feeling unrefreshed, as though rest had bypassed your spirit entirely. I saw how you kept going despite having little strength left inside. You pushed through when your emotional reserves had long run dry. You showed courage you didn't feel, hope you couldn't sense, and perseverance that came from a place deeper than your conscious will. You survived a stretch of life that could have fractured your connection to your purpose, but you did not lose me. That is why I entered your awareness with such immediacy. This is why my message awakened something in you the second you began to absorb its meaning. I removed every obstruction that attempted to silence your inner voice. I lifted every covering that tried to veil your sight. I cleared every barrier standing between you and the next step forward. Nothing can stand between you and what I have prepared, not confusion, not heaviness, not exhaustion, not fear. The moment required precision, and that is why I come to you now. The blessing that draws near demanded careful preparation. It required significant inner transformation. It required emotional healing, spiritual realignment, and the removal of anything that was not meant to accompany you into the next phase of your life. This process was not punishment, it was preparation. Certain paths needed to close. Certain people needed to fade away. Certain habits had to lose their grip. Certain possibilities had to be redirected. Everything that left your life did so by design, even when the departure felt painful. Every ending protected your trajectory. Every closure shielded your future. Every shift created space for what is now approaching. The good that is coming toward you is not distant. It has not been delayed. It has not been forgotten. It is closer than you realize, close enough that your inner self must wake up so you do not miss it. This moment requires presence. It requires clarity. It requires your spirit to rise from the weight that has numbed it. I am awakening your sight, reviving your inner senses, strengthening your discernment, and clearing the noise from your path. This is where I bring you back to your true bearing. This is where I reignite your spiritual perception. This is where confusion dissolves into understanding. You have asked me repeatedly, when will it be? When will things change? When will I see what you promised? And now I answer you, this is the moment. This instant is the key. The timing you thought you missed is the timing I had planned all along.